Signs you're more successful than you think. Number 19. Support and explore.
You know how to support yourself and explore what you're passionate about at the same time. This is a big deal, and not a lot of people are able to do this.
Maybe you haven't found your dream career yet, or perhaps you're debating if you want to go to grad school or take up something in the creative field. Even if it's nowhere near what you're doing now, you work hard to maintain a living to support your life and your needs, and pay your bills while you figure out what it is exactly you truly want to do and have a passion for in life. Number 18. Education. Do you make a conscious effort to continue to educate yourself every day, even in just small ways? If you do, that is a massive sign of successful people and can be a great benefit in all aspects of your life. Something as simple as reading an actual book once in a while, or paying close attention to politics and elections, trying out tours and learning about the city you live in, and watching documentaries are all beneficial and useful ways to spend your free time. A big sign you're more successful than you think is that you're always challenging yourself to keep learning and broadening your limits of knowledge. You can never learn or know too much. Number 17. Being rational. You make rational decisions between multiple things that you want in order to maintain your budget and not go broke. You're mature enough to understand that when you're working with a decent budget, you can't just have everything you want all the time. If you'd really like to visit a friend in another city, you know how to channel your energy into cutting back on other things and temporary luxuries, like going out to eat when you have food at home, or taking an Uber everywhere when it's not necessary. You realize that you have to give up a couple of things for a short period of time in order to make your goals happen or get what you're saving up for. Number 16. Around you. Regardless of the fact that there is a lot to keep up with in today's world, you're always making sure you're at least somewhat educated on significant events that are going on around you, as well as other things going on nowhere near you. It's a good thing to know what's going on in the world you live in, because if not, it makes you seem like you don't care or just living in a self-absorbed bubble. Number 15. Give it your all. You're more successful than you think if you give your all at work, even if you know that the current job you're working at is never going to be your true calling. Also, if you know you won't be working there in a month or a year or even a week from now, ready to bring something to the table and be a source of help to the workplace and to the people around you. You might hate your current job situation, but you still show up on time every day and do what you're supposed to do. And regardless if you like the job or your boss, you always leave on good terms and don't just walk out because you realize if you need their reference later on or need to come back to the job that you left on good terms and didn't burn any bridges. Number 14. You're kind.
A sign you're more successful than you think is that you're kind and respectful to everyone you encounter, whether it be your coworker, your boss, someone over the phone making an appointment for you, or the barista making your coffee in the morning.
You believe and act like everyone you meet deserves to be treated with the same kind of dignity and respect instead of just switching things up when you're around someone who could promote you or do something for you. Regardless if you can gain something from someone or not, if you give the same respect to everyone and not just specific people, that is a great sign of success. And in return, people will look up to you and respect you a lot more. Number 13. Advice. A mature sign is that you turn to your parents or family for advice instead of just hoping they will solve your problems for you. When you're seriously dreading going to work tomorrow or panicking about a huge paper due for class or worried about a significant stress source in your life, you call your parents not to be babied, but because you know they'll give you the advice and pep talk that you need to suck it up and keep going regardless of whatever is stressing you out in life at that time. No matter how uncomfortable and nervous you are, you keep showing up and doing your job and doing what you have to do even if you don't want to or you don't like your work environment. Or you have so much other stuff on your mind, you do it and you do a good job anyway. Number 12. Effort. You're always making an effort to improve yourself in small ways because you understand they have a lasting effect and will pay off and reward you later on in life.
Training yourself to remember people's names after they say it the first time when you meet someone, making eye contact, or reading something other than your social media feed, and being a good team player.
You understand that even though everyday things can be forgettable, they are developing you into the kind of person that people want to be with, be friends with, spend their time with, and work with. Little daily efforts show you care and actually put out effort into the little things that can make a big difference in other people's eyes. Number 11. Own up. You understand that nobody is perfect, even if they claim to be. We all know the truth. You know that avoiding your weaknesses and insecurities means you'll never improve yourself. As uncomfortable as it makes you, you're always looking for helpful advice and feedback on how you can become better in all aspects within yourself and your life. Number 10. All or nothing. In your work life, in your friendships, in your love life, in your overall happiness and everything you do, you refuse to walk through life like you're sleepwalking. You make sure you're in the present moment, even when life is a little messy. Going through the motions without fully experiencing things and not fully paying attention to what you're doing or what's going on around you is never a good thing. So be in the moment and take one thing at a time. Number 9. A better way. Are you stuck in the past or leaping toward the future? John Sculley, who was a former Apple CEO and president of Pepsi, said that throughout his career he's always asked questions such as, "Why is it done this way?" He said, "Success is mainly about the willingness to solve a problem in a way that's never been solved before." The opposite trait is resistance to change. Can put a halt on your career the same way it stalls a large company's progress. Scott Galloway wrote in his book, "Trying to resist the tide of change will drown you." Successful people in the digital age are those who go to work every day not dreading the net change, but asking, what if we did it this way? Number 8, your vision. You have a clear view for the kind of life you want. Granted that your vision might evolve over time, but the point is to not take a job exclusively for the short-term benefits, like the money. If you take a position solely based on your immediate needs at the time, instead of looking at the future and what the job could do to benefit you years from now, is an excellent trait of successful people. Instead of asking yourself, what kind of situation do you want? You should ask yourself, what life do I want to live? And how does this job fit into the broader picture? Even if you have a vision for the years ahead, career coach and former Googler Jenny Blake says you should ask yourself questions like, what does my ideal average day look like? And what kinds of people do I want to be connected with or meeting? Number 7, failure. Being open to failure means you understand that things aren't going to happen the first time and might take months or years before you reach your end goal or land that dream job or whatever it is you're working towards. Being able to accept that things aren't perfect and don't always go as planned is a big step in being successful. Galloway says the 4 major tech companies like Google, Apple, Amazon, and Facebook are all open to occasional failure. If it means they are trying something new, they're aware that it might not be perfect the first time around. If you want to be successful in your own life and career, you should be the same way. Galloway told Business Insider, if you are not in your own professional life and your professional career kind of wiping out and getting beamed in the face every once in a while, you aren't trying hard enough. Number 6, taking risks. You'd be hard-pressed to find a successful person who hasn't taken risks in their career. Take Jeff Bezos, for example, the CEO of Amazon and one of the wealthiest men in the world. He has spoken about how he decides which risks to take, and in an interview he explained how he decided to start up Amazon. He said, "I knew when I was 80 I was not going to regret having tried this. I was not going to regret trying to participate in this thing called the internet that I thought was going to be a huge deal. I knew that if I failed I wouldn't regret that, but I knew the one thing I might regret is not ever having tried. I knew that would haunt me every day."
It's more worth it to try something and fail than it is to be too afraid to do it and then regret not doing it later on. You never know what could happen if you actually do it and put it out into the world.
Number 5, stepping stones. We tend to measure success with big things like getting a promotion, graduating from school, or getting married. But it's the small behind-the-scenes goals that lead to the more significant successes in life, like every test you pass, every work assignment you get through, or even getting past an awful first date. All great successful work starts with smaller ones. Number 4, good habits. It's a famous saying that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. For example, you know how to wake up early every morning, or that workout routine you stick to, or that you always try to arrive to work a little early. Those are all good habits and methods of success. Reaching goals requires discipline and hard work. But regardless of where you're trying to go, the right habits are helping you get there, whether they're big or small, or on a daily or even weekly basis. It's all benefiting you in some way. Number 3, haven't given up.
One of the biggest keys to success is persistence. So many people out there give up right before crossing the finish line, and just before reaching their goal they've spent so much time and effort on.
Usually what ends up happening is people are so close to achieving something, and they stop trying and thinking it will never work. But the reality is, if they just stick to it a little longer, they could have been very successful. But if that's not you and you're still trying to reach your goals day in and day out, moving forward and determined, that is what makes you a success. Number 2, intelligent. None of us can be perfect when it comes to controlling our emotions, but working at being emotionally intelligent and to identify your feelings and realize the significant role they play in your life can make a huge difference in your decision making. When you react to things rationally instead of responding on emotion at that very moment, you're more successful than you would be otherwise. Too many people act too quickly in the heat of the moment when emotions are high and they're not thinking straight, and then regret it later. It's smarter to take a step back and calm down before reacting to something. Number 1, love to learn.
You love to try new things, you're an avid reader, and you don't mind making mistakes. Why? Because your every new experience and journey broadens your horizons and helps you understand yourself better.
Along with those around you and the world. Mistakes aren't failures, they're a new opportunity to learn and grow to make you an even better person in your personal and professional life.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.